Well, welcome to today's episode of Progress, Not Perfection. My name is Dan. If you're wondering, am I that regular guy that's on here and I just steal his beanie? Nope, it's me. Was ready to shave the beard. It's been a while since I put myself in front of the camera. It is Christmas Eve, so Merry Christmas. So December 24th, 2025, and it's time to paint again. And so, boy, I was looking at our YouTube channel yesterday, and man, I think we're sneaking up on, no, it's over 1,100 subscribers. I'm just tickled with that. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I hope you're enjoying the paintings. I hope it's in some way inspired you to try something you've always wanted to, or maybe just encouraged you in whatever your gifts and passions are. And I appreciate all the comments, all the messages, and we're all on this ride together. So I certainly don't have all the answers, but here we are. Got a couple of things on my brain, on my heart. I'll share as we go, but I'm ready to dive in. I'm excited to paint. So my favorite canvas size to paint on is a 16 by 20. So that's what I have here today. I'll paint on anything from, 9 by 12, 9 by 11. I don't know. It's a strange little size, but about the size of a sheet of paper. That's the smallest canvas I've messed with at all. And then the biggest is 3 feet by 30 by 40, 2 feet by 4 feet. I don't know. I've done a couple of big ones, several big ones actually, but this is my favorite. 16 by 20 is my favorite. Whatever you've got handy at home, whatever your favorite size canvas is, it's kind of fun I have found to try different sizes and all, just because it forces me to just try something different. Pushes me a little outside of that stuck in my box zone. I'm going to quit calling that my comfort zone. Nothing comfortable about it. I get annoyed with myself for sitting still and all kinds of stuff. If you're super sharp and you've watched other videos, you may notice that I am improvising and dancing as we go, because I had forgotten to put out colors on the palette. I had only planned to use 3 colors today: titanium white, Prussian blue, and midnight black. So that is probably a good thing, or I'd have had to pause the video or start the recording again. So paints are now on the palette. Let's put some liquid white on that canvas. And we're going to dive in and we're going to get rolling. So I'm going to take my 2-inch brush. Picked up a nice helping of liquid white. Nothing crazy. About an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch up the bristles. Don't want it sopped up the sides. I like to just put dots around the edges. Pull in from the outside. I don't know if the camera's close enough today to pick up a couple of drips of paint that I've had, but I dotted myself with a little liquid white there. I know you can see it well on camera that this canvas did not start white. These are tinted gray. They are still made to the specifications Bob came up with for them all those years ago. If you're painting this style of painting specifically, wet on wet, I mean, gonna paint your canvas with liquid white and then use firm dry oils to blend and build on right from there. Man, having these canvases that are tinted gray, I really like starting on a completely black acrylic canvas also with a gesso. But anyway, talking specifically about these gray canvases, you see how easy it is to see where the white goes. That's the whole point in doing it. If you're not painting this style, I don't know that you really need a gray canvas like this, because canvases made this well got big, thick stretcher bars in the back. I mean, those bars are couple inches thick probably. And I mean, these things sound like the head of a drum. You don't need this high a quality of canvas to practice on, gracious sakes. Well, if you've got the operating budget for it, you sure can, but you don't have to practice on anything like that. You can practice this on a piece of cardboard, a piece of wax paper, or an acrylic palette if you've got one. I think we'll do a video of that, just practicing. We've got some on cardboard. I remember doing some trees. Gosh, that's been a while. But so many of the boxes I get from Amazon, the boxes are still in such good shape. I like to keep the cardboard, some of it. I've gotten rid of a lot. Because here in Florida, roaches like to eat cardboard, so it's not a good thing just to stockpile by any means. Don't keep it in your garage. Keep a few pieces in a room where there's often people. They seem to keep the bugs away. But anyhow, so I practice on cardboard when I feel like it. I'll get some cheapy canvases from Hobby Lobby or Michael's or gosh, even Walmart if I'm just, not going to give it, sell it, teach it, show it, whatever, donate it. So if you've got any questions about these canvases specifically, you're certainly welcome to drop a comment in, shoot us a message, text or call. That's totally fine. The question we do get often is, where can you get these? Well, you can certainly get the canvases. They come several different sizes in boxes of 6. So we don't break cases down. That's how they come from the factory. So it's a case of 6, individually wrapped. Each has a really nice card on it. At any rate, so you can see those on the website, danwilcoxart.com. The link will be in the description of the video, of course. But these canvases are wonderful at helping this technique work for you. So cool. So, I've commented before that I don't like to really already decide before I hit record on the camera what I'm going to paint that day. I just really like to see what happens on the canvas. Now, when I look back at those paintings sometimes, I'm like, I could have, would have, should have done this. But you know what? I have, in so many areas of my life, I heard a friend describe it this one, there's so many woulda, shoulda, couldas, I wound up shoulding all over myself. Well, I don't want to do that anymore. So instead of looking back at those paintings that I just let pour out as if they were missing something, I look at it now is those are the pieces I had. That's all I could give. I can't give something out that I don't have. So if that's what I had to give and I gave it, then I did the job and I did it fully. That's a big difference for me. I don't know if that is the kind of thing that would relate to anybody at all, but man, if you've beaten yourself up the way I have over the years with things bothering you like that in mind, holy cow. I'd always go back and nitpick my painting in my own head. I'd never said anything to anybody else, but boy, woulda, shoulda, coulda, and I just was like, I'm just done doing that. I am just done doing that. So just not going to do that to myself anymore. I did add a couple of dumbbells to the back side of my easel here, this little tabletop one I've been using the last several videos, just so it's got a little bit more oomph to it. I mean, obviously that helps hold a little bit larger canvas than I've been using on the videos lately. Just helps hold it still. I don't want it to be shaken and hard to see. I'm using the lock features on the recording, so hopefully we're getting good image quality. Want to keep improving that, of course. Now, I'm a big fan of wiping out my brush often. So as I use that blue brush, some of that's going to dilute with the liquid white already on the canvas. Rather than go through the whole cleaning procedure, I like to just bump off that color here in a paper towel, reload, just so the color stays nice and intense. Now, as you can tell, I almost can't help it. I am delivering some instruction, it feels like. Well, that's okay. I can do that and honor my agreements and not stir up controversial topics and such. So I will certainly do my best before just going off on a spirited thought process if it's going to be a controversial topic, and alert the viewer. So if you want to avert your ears, you can. Okay? I don't know, like I said, what we're going to do. I definitely know I'm painting winter time. That's what I like to paint, especially when it's cooler time of year. Gosh, it's so nice to have some windows open in the morning or the evening, letting cool air come in and the crispness in the air. Mom and I were talking. She's down for a nice visit. She's been here about a week now, a little over, and be here through the first week of the new year. And mine just went blank. What were we talking about? What were Mom and I talking about? Oh, just wouldn't want to live in the cold. We don't mind the visit or the weather visiting. But man, snow, driving in it, shoveling the walkway, taking out trash in it, taking the sweet little fur babies out in it. Not for me. No, thank you. No, thank you at all. So I think we're seeing lows in the 40s right now, overnight. Maybe mid to upper 40s. I don't know. It is nice and crisp outside. I really like it. I am enjoying it. I'm an early bird too. I've told you that before. So I'll often get to be outside for a little bit before sunrise. I do love that. All right, well, there's just some blue. Let's darken up those corners a bit. I got the black out. I kind of want to make this look a little wintry and colder. So let's just kind of see what we get. Add a little dark. Now this midnight black is really, really a wonderful color. It's a really more of a, got a kind of, I know we call it midnight black, but it's almost a super dark purple, bluish. Oh, I don't know. It's just not a deep ivory black. There's something about that midnight feel to it. If you've ever been out, different parts of the world or country, for sure, man. That still quiet mid of the night, boy, it is. Can be a special or a spooky or just a really amazing feeling. Look how that dark can just change how this whole thing feels, just that little bit. Don't need too much. Now, if you ever wonder, yes, I would encourage you to try this with your offhand. Students do this in class quite often when they tell me they're tired from doing the liquid white, and then there's a little more elbow grease than they thought maybe. So, all right, switch to your offhand and just go gently. Just see what happens. Maybe use the brush skinny way. Now, it may be a little clumsy at first, but it's just for a break. We're going to blend it, so gracious sakes. Maybe just tap in a few little whispery, distant clouds. Definitely want to put some clouds in here, so I need some shadowy. And just tap those in a little bit. Give us something to put some highlighty clouds on here in a minute. Let's blend it out, see if we like it. Now, I haven't painted a whole painting left-handed in a long time. Probably 3 years, maybe. And that was all left-handed. That was really fun. Nick had us do that in class over in New Smyrna Beach. We got a canvas ready, got our palettes ready, brushes all out. He's got a reference ready. He's ready to roll. He goes, okay, take your dominant hand, you're right or left-handed, put it in your back pocket and sit on it. And And we did the whole painting. Knife work, mountains. Oh, it's actually one of my favorite paintings I've got now. Do I still have that one? I can't remember. A friend may have that one. I definitely have a picture of it, though. Let's just soften. Soften, soften, soften. And that's the thing. If we don't like this dark, we could put some blue on it. We can lighten it by putting some highlight on it. Oh, we got all kinds of choices, don't we? Anything we want to do. All right, well, I'm going to step back for just a second. Quick check on the old video screen, see how we're looking. Because for the lights in the studio for me, I'm getting quite a glare on this corner. So that's just a little bit tough for me to see. So I just want to move, check the viewfinder. I know it's not a viewfinder, it's just the screen. All right, well, we're looking good through the viewfinder. So I like the depth we're getting. See what can happen in just using a few colors. So let's put some more clouds on there, and I want to use my round brush for some clouds, and we're just going to go with straight white. It's going to pick up some of that dark pretty quick, but we'll start with white. We may change it, blend it down. We'll see what happens. You can do all kinds of different strokes, all different types of clouds. Just think like a cloud for a second, but not too long. And then just be free. Just tap it in. In these clouds, the negative space you leave, the open space with no paint, is at least as important, if not more important, than the space you put with the color. That'll make more sense when you do it, or just watch. Don't get all twisted up and confused. Just let it be. Tap gently and keep tapping. I am calling an audible right now. I'm going to try telling that light to my left. That keeps the big, powerful other one on to my right. That glare is just a hassle. So we've made the mid-video adjustment, and I hope that wasn't difficult on the eyes for the viewer. So now let's get going. I'm ready to zip out some paint here. It feels like a great day to paint. Some things that have been happening in my world since I last saw you, I believe. A little bit of sad news to share as we still are in the holiday season. It's the news I've got, so this is what I'm going to share. Divorce proceedings have concluded, and so I'm thankful we remain amicable, and I believe we will do a honorable job the rest of our lives as Grandin's family would hopefully grow in days and years and months and all to come, and potentially grandchildren at some day. I have utmost respect and still have good things to say and think of Lori, and am I still sad and disappointed that this is how we've concluded our relationship? Yes, of course I am. To be disappointed in oneself is a load to carry in and of itself. So if you've walked that road as well, I have a new level of empathy. And if you haven't, I pray you never do. No doubt marriage is difficult. Well, let me tell you, divorce is no walk in the park or anything I would suggest as a fun weekend thing to do. A lot of our clouds will get covered. When I'm painting winter, I'm probably going to put in some evergreen trees and some mountains. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Clouds are always fun to practice, though. Never met a cloud I didn't like. Well, if I did, I just blurred them into nothing or covered them up with a tree or something else. So learn something, practice. Always learn something about it. Always learn something. All right, so what else is going on? What's going on in your world? What do you do to celebrate Christmas? Has this been a great year and banner crops and enjoying high cotton? I hope that's the case. Can't be the case for all of us at the same time. I've given up on that unreal, unreasonable, utopian kind of thought because my experience does not bear that out, nor does anyone that I think I've ever had lots of contact with. So that just isn't uh, what I want to spend time doing anymore. So if you have had that kind of year and are having that kind of season in life, wonderful. Count those blessings. What perhaps is the strategy to pay it forward if that's in your heart? Or maybe that's not the place you find yourself. You know, you've quite likely heard a lot of my story of how difficult the year's been. And, I really just wanted to sit out the holidays. And thankfully, through my recovery group and some wonderful connections at the church I've joined, I'm a member of, was baptized in October, and really am enjoying the discipleship and learning a lot and improving a lot. And they encourage me to at least participate, find something to do and some way. And so through also the encouragement of participating in Grief Share and using their Surviving the Holidays devotional kind of book and study guide, I decided to. And most of that was yesterday. I decided to go do some holiday shopping. One of my responsibilities over the years became, and I really enjoyed doing the majority of the stocking stuffer shopping. And Lori always handled all the gifts and outside the family gifts and friends and family and nieces and nephews, and she's great at those logistics. So anyway, I went to a few different stores, and what I found up finding myself doing was wandering the store as I often did. I would pick things up and just laugh at them, thinking it would be a funny gift for somebody in the household. And as this kind of went, some of the things I had read from other people's examples and stories they shared in the Grief Share journal was what they had done in the holidays, whether it's shopping or get together, family, friends, these sort of things. Their experiences were so helpful because I recognized it when I was doing it. And I stood there and just sort of let myself feel the whole thing. I was picking up things and starting to fill the cart with all the stuff I knew Andrew would like. His favorite candies, the silly little things you put in kids' stockings, or, those silly little games. I don't know, it's all kinds of things. Uno, card games. Just, I enjoyed that sort of stuff. But it was so emotionally overwhelming. When I realized what I was doing, that, man, I started putting those things back. And I just had to leave. I couldn't stay in the store. Not because anything else had happened. I was just so emotional. I just had to go. And so that happened at two places. I was aware going to the third, kind of get myself a little more on track. For the first time in many years, didn't go bazonkers on the cute little things I did pick up for stocking stuffers. But I expected it to be difficult. And it was harder than that. So again, I just have a new empathy and a new understanding for that. Anyway, so if you have a friend or family member or you yourself have been through that, well, you're not alone. And don't feel alone, because you're not. Oh, I'll never apologize for letting my tears out. Never. If it makes somebody else uncomfortable, I don't think that's an issue for me to solve. Not being heartless about that, but I'd rather have a hug that made us both uncomfortable for a second and then helped heal us both than one of us have to completely give up this illusion of comfort or discomfort while someone else is working through something. I appreciate the space because this is my first time. So I don't know the perfect response. I don't expect you to either. I'm trying to handle myself with a little more kindness and grace. And some days I'm okay at that, and some days I'm not so good. So what are we going to do with this one? How about we put off, man, I like mountains in the distance. I'm a pretty consistent old guy on the stuff I like. I am. So let's take a little color we can lighten up a bit. Put something way off there in the distance just for fun. Yeah. How about we put a little light mountain way back there? Maybe grows up into the clouds a little bit. Not to be that giant, does it? Got a little wobble and a wiggle and a squiggle and a giggle, huh? Why not? Darken that up just a smidge. Just a wee smidge. See, sometimes you wind up covering up clouds and things that you like. Yeah, that happens. That's all right. Guess what? That cloud's got to go on and do some other things too. You know, something else I've volunteered to participate in for this holiday season that, quite frankly, I'm cautiously nervous about, but way more excited. It just happens to be my first time doing it. For a big holiday service like this, and that's going to be volunteering in the kids service tonight for the candlelight Christmas Eve celebration service at church. So I'll get to be one of those that gets with the rest of the volunteer staff and leaders in the kids program, so we can let the people who normally serve and miss service with their families go in and be in the special event tonight. So I'm, I've always liked anywhere. I mean, kids. I'm pretty good with kids, but toddlers, 2, 3s. That's about my speed. They don't have complete sentences. Easy to redirect. Pretty impressed with weak to not even good. Throw it up in the sky and pretend the magic trick is that it's still up there, and then pull it out magically out of somebody's ear. Yeah, I'm a pretty good cheese ball like that. So that age group is a good audience for me to razzle and dazzle. So I'm looking forward to that this afternoon. We'll head over there. Oh, probably 3 o'clock or so. We were talking about. But am looking forward to that. It's going to soften this down. This mountain be pretty quiet back here. And we'll put some stuff in front of it so it'll just kind of disappear. Yeah. Gonna have a little snow on that mountain, I would say. Not much though. Just a little bit of snow. Play with this. Get yourself one of these knives. Maybe you start with a plastic one, little palette knife. Those do great for acrylics. Depending on your surface, you may rough them up and go through them. That's kind of what they seem to be designed for. Here in our local arts and crafts places, those are often just $1 or $2 a piece. Now, if you can get comfortable with what I would call just kind of an average quality tool like that, my goodness, if you change to higher quality tools, you will probably enjoy the result. Nothing wrong, in my opinion, with trying some of that on for size before you go and spend a fortune. I know that, or I suggest that, because I spent a fortune first and found that I didn't use, gosh, half to 3/4 of the stuff and junk that I bought. So I gave a lot of it away. I threw some away. You know, you get rid of it, right? So I don't know. If you ever got questions like that, want to talk through something, I am happy to help talk you out of that retail therapy and really, just a sane place to start, if that's helpful. If you got money to burn, awesome. Just do something with it. Pursue your passion. All right. Let's just kind of mist that out, and we'll tuck that one a bit off in the distance. Maybe put in a row or two of foothills and bring in another kind of deal here. So we'll just make this. Yeah, there we go. Just kind of mist this down the side here a little bit. Doesn't that change how it feels? Isn't that cool? Just letting a few of these things vary, kind of seeing what happens. Yes, some of this is me stalling while I'm trying to decide what we're going to do next. You caught me? But all I'm trying to do is leave a different layer of flavors of color. That's all. That's all I really care about. Kind of helping me decide what we're going to do here. So just very gentle on these taps because I want all these little fuzzy and blurry things to stick around. I want to quit doing is so much of that. Get to not paying attention, and I let these back runs kind of just go too far sometimes, in my opinion. And I like to kind of hide some of those. Tuck them in is a better way to say it, not hide. Just kind of tuck them in a little better with the next layer forward. There we go. I didn't want that end sticking out of that lighter color. I don't know if you can still see that real well. That's okay. We're just going to bring this in like this. And do something else here. As we're kind of way down here in the valley. Let's just bump up a few of these little trees, see where we're at after that. Don't do many of these if you're doing this little trick, just a few. We still want that illusion of distance. Don't want to flatten it all out. Gets to feeling good, we get to just bang, 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 and all of a sudden we flatten it all out. See how cool that looks? Just a few of those here and there. Not of them, not all the same. Not all the same. What if, how do you feel about it if we have some snow kind of separating us here? So we'll put some snow here, then we'll maybe have a row of nice big trees and a little frozen lake something down here. That kind of feels pretty exciting to me. So let's sort of soften out a few things and see where we get. Yeah, we'll put just some softening back here. Yeah, we'll do something else over here. Something else over there. Let's get some snow in there. I like doing snow sometimes with a fan brush. So let's grab some white with a fan brush. See if this is going to do what we want it to do for today. And where are we going to start with snow? How about we start back here? Just get in a little idea of some snow here and see what we decide is happening back here. Just a bit. We're going to come back and blend. Don't you worry about that. Just some beautiful snow out here. Not too much, not too much. Just the idea. If we do too much, it's going to feel way too close. Way too close. I love putting snow in like that. It just looks like you did so much, but you just didn't have to do a thing hardly. Come back and soften that down just a bit. Bump out a few of those brush strokes, not too many. You do it to the way it feels good to you. I like to leave a little bit of that texture. To me, that's really interesting. Seeing all that like bright white there next to some of that darker from that black, to me, feels purple there. I'm not sure how it'll look on camera to you now, but that's kind of how it looks to me here under the lights. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. And here and there on some of the closer bits, we can just sneak in a few little up pulls for some tree trunks, little foliage things getting some light blasted on them in our woods. Don't overdo this, Dan. Trust me, the things I try to share and teach you, those messages are for me just as much as they are for you, for certain. All right, well, let's wipe that brush off. Got a little heavy-handed on some of them, so ever so gently, just come back in. Just give it a touch if you want to. Any of that titanium white gets a little too bright, which it can from time to time. You're a little heavy-handed, just practice. And almost all soften down to just nothing if you need it to. Plus, we're putting other stuff here. You're very, very simple as we move it back. Don't ever feel like you've made a mistake on something like that. So what shall we do next? How about some tap and crashy kind of trees that come across to our foresty area first? I always like those. Yeah. Let's have them go this way though this time. So maybe we start pulling a row out about here, kind of make them get really nice and tall. Yeah, I see where you're going. I like your thinking, kid. Keep it up. If you talk to yourself, you're just the right kind of crazy to be a painter. I don't know who we get to thank in history for kind of setting that tone, but whoever the first crazy painter was has made it completely okay that most of us are a little wonky. Maybe everybody's just a little wonky. Painters just do it real well. I don't know. That's kind of funny to even think about to me. All right, so what should we do? What are we going to do here? What do we say? Have some kind of bigger trees starting here on the peninsula? Okay, I kind of dig that. I'd kind of like to start a tree here. Maybe we'll just do some trees that kind of, we'll creep back just a whisper. Then we'll come forward. There we go. I feel good about starting there. I literally am just tapping and crashing in some dark background color here. Don't want the tops to be all the same. So I fight that. So I come back and touch it a few different ways. Gently. Just lightening a little bit of my dark color, so I'm still just black and white here, making kind of a gray. Don't want it to be as dark as it can be yet. As I come through here and vary the colors and change up the heights of my tree, we are most certainly letting those colors vary. I like to make it a little darker on that second pass through. Just looks like another layer in front to me. I don't mind if we can see some of this back here, but I really want to do mostly trees. So here in the front of some of this, I'll show you what I like to do. Kind of makes sense to me as we're making this big tree, come this way. Well, let's make it feel like a tree. We'll just dance in some arms and foliage on them back and forth. And where shall this one come and land? Should we put him about there? Okay. Okie dokie. Let's make him in kind of the charge of the point here. So we'll put another maybe shorter friend in here. Dig that. Let's put a third one in. That's working so well. Why not? Maybe this is our point here. Yeah, we'll put in another tree here. I don't mind that at all. Do you? I don't think that you would. How could you? It's a tree, for goodness sake. Who could mind a tree? Not me, not me. All right. So, gonna make this kind of a rocky outcropping. That's kind of cool. I don't mind doing that. We'll get a little darker and we'll just see what we think about this. So what if we pull a little bit of this out? It'll go back in and then kind of come down that way. we'll figure this out here over here in a minute. No worries about that. Ah, paintbrush in the trash. All right, we'll do a quick video check and time check here in a minute. Today's probably going to be a little longer episode, so this size canvas and doing it the liquid white part too, I knew it would take me a little longer, and that was just fine with me. I hope it's okay with you too. Must be, or you wouldn't be here. Okay, we'll get a little bit of that off of there. Let's put some snow on that and see if we like how we get it. So let's kind of have this slide out this way a little for us and just kind of come over the edge, and we'll see what we're going to do with it from there. Yeah, we'll figure something out there. But if you're super gentle with that knife, boy, that's where it's at. This thing will do magical things with it if you just get comfortable with it. It'll feel different in your hand than mine. Of course it should. Let it happen. Let it happen. Who knows? Maybe we're part of a glacier runoff system here. I don't know. Let's just get some highlight in there. Got to do something with the underneath part of that for me. I just don't think there'd be this much light here. So just break some of that up ever so gently. Oh, I like how that got underneath there. I'm going to break up a little bit of that. Be willing to do this. Be willing to play with it. Test it. Change it. What do you like? Who cares what I like? On your canvas, let's talk about what you like. I'm adding a little blue to this side. Maybe we'll put a little blue underneath here. Maybe is there a little glacier runoff where it's so cold. Wow. Just the idea. Just the idea. Maybe we get a tiny little stronger blue, a little white. Just the idea of some really cold feel under here. Let's just see what happens. I want to change the feel of some of this. I don't want to turn it bright blue, so I'm going to fix that. See how that just changes the flavor on some of this? That's all I wanted to do there. I just didn't think it would be that bright, that's all. Kind of like me. Got a little walking around sense, but I ain't that bright. I get it. That's all right. Aren't all gifted the same way. How boring would that be? In fact, I'd like for this part to go this way now, so that's what it's going to do. See what happens when you change your mind? You just change your mind. Don't sweat it, man. Don't sweat it. Let's go dark again and put in a couple big trees over here. We really start putting some snow on and kind of figure out some coolness over here. Ooh, I feel like we're low enough now. We'll pull something in here and do this here as where our little frozen area lives. How about that? What do you think about that? Give away my secrets. Now you know what I'm up to. That's no good, huh? Just kidding. No secrets doing this. None at all. You know, maybe in the way you like to paint or draw or see the world, this is not the kind of evergreen tree you see, or maybe that's not the kind of mountain you see. Well, good golly, paint what you see in your world. Don't do what I say. Nope. I'd much rather See what you got. Just making a couple shades of a blue and white highlight color. Do a few snowy things. Not much though. Not too much. Not too much. Don't want it too bright yet. Not too bright. No, that may be too bright. Let's darken this to start. Oh, we'll get a little on this one, see if we like it. Not much is kind of an encouraging cry to myself. Dan, don't overdo, man. Just some magic highlight. I'm gonna probably sneak a little more dark back in that just because I feel like I over mobbed it a bit, but I always like to kind of mop out my brush, come back, gently touch here and there a few places again. Often that'll just settle it down a bit as well. And there'll be another tree in front of this in just a second. So sometimes if I get my mix a little too thin, I feel like I'll get a little blob with some liquid white there. That's okay. I don't stress anymore about that. I did it first, no doubt about it. No doubt about it at all. What if we just wait and we'll bring in a big tree closer to us on this side? That I really like. So let's move that for a second. Move that for a second. Goodness gracious. Used a small army of brushes here, haven't I? Got them laid out all over the place. Excuse me while I organize for just a minute. All right, let's see what we got. I feel like that would be darker. We're going to set that reflection gently, gently, gently sideways. And we're going to darken it. How do you darken it? You pick up a tiny bit of dark paint. In this case, I'm picking up a little blue, a little black, because that's what's mixed in my darks there. Just to get a bit more dark onto our reflections here, especially under these trees. Isn't that cool? So quick and easy. You can have these great reflections almost instantly. Let those color layers build up for you too. Don't be afraid to start with one and make a little lighter if you need to by adding some white. Make it a little darker if you need to. Adding some color like I did there. It's really up to you. I'm going to make good on that threat to step away and check our viewfinder and time here. Wow, 55 minutes. All right. If you're in this long, boy, you're in deep. I appreciate that. Let's kind of make another one of these coming in this way. I kind of like our little ridge there. What do you think about that? I don't care for this though, so let's get rid of that edge. It's just a little too defined for if we've really got water back here. So I like that. Let's grab a little liquid white out of there so we can put some waterline right up in here. You may like the small knife. I love the small edge of the small knife for this kind of purpose. scratching in a water line, a little frozen shore, a little ripple on the water, whatever the case is. Try them both. Try both edges on both knives. I have my big palette knife here today. This one's black because I spray painted it, just so it doesn't have the same shine and glare under the studio lights. But I just feel more comfortable with the little one. One of my favorite things to do is cutting in these water lines. I think I like it to last. Try and savor it every time. I really believe that. I think that's the kind of thing that appealed to me for years about smoking. And one of the things that certainly I liked about drinking initially was that the experience, that feel of it. So anyway, that's Psychoanalysis 101 for Dan today. What are you doing this Christmas Eve? Ooh, so we do some good food. I make a sloppy Joe inspired by I believe it's called the Town Hall Deli, South Orange, New Jersey. I like seedless rye bread when we do that, so that's what we use. And takes a little roast beef, a little turkey, a little Swiss cheese, coleslaw, and a mayo ketchup mix. And then you make it like a club sandwich. So slice of bread, ketchup mayo mix, cheese, meat, coleslaw, bread, repeat. Oh, then quarter it and put it in the fridge overnight. Perfect today. I'll make another batch today for tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good time. Good time, good time. You know what? Let's bring this one closer. So we'll push that one back a little further. So we'll have bigger here. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, man. Now I'm with you. Now I see the destination. Believe it or not, it's not that far away. Boy, you see some sure good things on some football that I wouldn't otherwise watch for some teams in the bowl games that are going on. Because my goodness, I don't know. The football players just seem to get more and more and more talented and faster. And the way some of these guys, they can throw the ball so far, and the way the receivers catch it and spin and crash into the ground. Oh my gosh, that's just seems miraculous. I think it's so cool. So yeah, what if we bring in kind of one here? I want to have a tree here or something. Yeah. Okay. I also liked that kind of point there. Oh, well, how about we just do the same? We'll have the same kind of riding out of our view there. So we'll just tap and crash in a few trees. That's fine. We'll put a few wanderers out this way. Kind of do a point or something. Who knows? Then it'll just grow up this way, like it did over there for us. Huh. Yeah, we'll just have this one go right on off. I'm going to sharpen up a tree here in a second, making something out of what otherwise looks like nothing right now. I get that. We're going to put some highlight on this so these look a lot closer. They won't have quite as much definition, but they'll certainly have some more highlight on them in a second. Let's put in a few that will have some additional flowery, wispy, branchy feel to them. Yeah, we'll get a little highlight on some of those. Not too much. Not too much. These aren't going to be gigantor, but we'll definitely have A little more tree volume over here, I think. Don't be afraid to make your trees kind of a little bit wonky, not wonky, but I can step back sometimes and boy, I feel like I've hit the exact same angle with my hand. And I just want to adjust that. So that's just something I don't stress over, I don't focus on and get all crazy about. I'm just aware of it. It's something I'd like to do a little bit different in my paintings yet to come. So I'm just aware of it. That's all I'm sharing that with you for. I don't go back and paint over things. Plus, this is the dark side of the tree. Do I paint the back side of the shed? Of course I do. Do I want the paint to be right? Is it going to have, yeah. Is it going to have to be perfect on the back of the shed? No, it doesn't have to be perfect on the front of the shed for me either. So I hope you have freed yourself of that kind of difficulty of perfection seeking. Some things on this rock, all of them really, I believe, can't be perfect yet. Not again yet. Anyhow, I enjoy being free of that. Sorry I'm making you wait while I'm cleaning a brush. Started it and just kept going, didn't I? All right. Just mostly white. I did bump into some paint thinner just so it would clean the brush a little more for me. But I just want a little liquid white and some blue. So we'll put in a few highlights back here, a little snow. Come back and touch some of that because that's way too strong on some of these. Oh, all right. So let's see. I know the government's back in business. I don't pay attention to that at all. I hope you remember that from our times together. I mean, I don't keep up with it diligently at all. I can't change it. I get enough highlights from a trusted source or two, not much. And let's not talk about it from opposing views. Let's put our heads together as the citizenry and say, all right, if this impacted me in a terrible way or people I care about, how do I prepare myself? Because if you had to guess, regardless of who occupies 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue or who has the majority in our House of Representatives and Senate, do you think they're going to come to an impasse again and try to stir us all up against each other and shut the government down again? Well, at least part of that, I think, is not just conjecture. I think they will certainly shut down the government again in what will amount to a pissing match over printing money and getting, people stomping their feet and pouting till they get their way. Well, how do we not be impacted by that next time? So if it stopped a cash flow issue for you, what's a side hustle? Or for healthcare, or for food storage, for preparation. Maybe I need to take a look at how long I'm prepared for any kind of disaster. Heck, what if we just have a couple of storms here in Florida that we lose power for a few weeks at a time? I'm prepared pretty solidly for the first good chunk of that, but there becomes a point that I'm not. So, I learned that I need to certainly look at some things. Let's see, I actually want to pull these bottoms down a little lower so this one's closer to us. So we're just going to fill this in a little bit here. I just needed some more dark paint under here. That's why I didn't want to grab all of my highlight color and steal that from us. So we're just doing some more reflection here. Let's kind of grab it, right about here. How about that? Straight down. Mostly straight down as you can. Natural shimmy and shake I have will sometimes make my reflection a little wonky. But again, I say that suits the personality I'm most comfortable with. I often feel just a little wonky. So that's the lane I'll stay in. Is that okay? It's okay with me. It's okay with you. Let's take a clean, dry brush since I can see that straight line and just soften here a bit. Oh, damn, soften there, clumsy hand. Yeah, we're going to put some highlights on that. Oh, softly, softly, softly. I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera, and I keep doinking it. There. I do like that. Let's put in just a smidge. Just a smidge. Rocky ledge there. Just kind of breaks over. And I'm going to come back and just give that a little pull with the edge of the knife here. I just want a little drop off. Goes down to the edge of our water. So let's see if we like this when it starts happening here for us in a second. I think we will. I'm just going to pull a little shadow in. That's too much. Barely touch. Subtle, 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 subtle. Sometimes I feel like I get too choppy in the directionals here. There we go. Just softer. Sneak in some waterline here. It is probably better to see on the camera with the large blade, so I'll certainly keep doing that for us. I can kind of see that now that I'm doing this up close. You can still use the large blade. Get all in there with your shoreline. Don't be scared of it. And just because we're moving down the canvas doesn't mean I have to get all wonky with my angle. Don't do that. Wonky on your angle of your knife is not the answer. And just start playing with it. You'll get it. This is so learnable. Oh, just let it happen. Don't stress. Or keep working through the stress. I don't want to pretend you're not going to stress or worry over what your painting's doing. I get that. I get that. Come on. I learned how to do this too, so I are a student of this just like I are a teacher of it. So just keep going. That's the lesson I needed in life, man. I got to tell you, I have certainly participated in some helpful things through all of this difficult year and different things. And Grief Share, I've commented on specifically how wonderful that group has been in my experience and different things like that. But I've also isolated some, and that kind of thing is not healthy and not good. So wouldn't recommend that. I think I want kind of a tree to finish here. We may just finish with a frozen, who knows? I'm going to step back for a second. I don't know. Maybe we got a lone little point. I don't know. I really like this reflection, so I don't want to cover that up. I want to see what it looks like through the video. Well, I'll know once we're actually charging away there on replay and upload and all. Let's take a look-see. Now let's just move on. Just grab something. We cannot make a mistake, Dan. That is true for you as well. Keep going, grasshopper. So let's just have a big old tree. Big old tree. Kind of like what's happening there. Let's just give this one a friend that hangs out on part of this, kind of help us fill this little open spot on the canvas we had here. Just helps direct the eye back towards the middle, and that's what I would prefer. Yeah, I think I want to do another little reflection part here. We'll kind of have this just watery as our finish down here. I think that would be fun. I hope you do too. We'll see if we like it in just a second. Just the tallest hairs in that brush. That's all we need to do that reflection. Don't even need the bristles to bend. It's the hair and bump of just the tallest hairs in that bunch. Just like people, they're different heights. All kinds of stuff. We don't get to pick those cards, we just get to play them. All right, let's get to highlighting. Where to put my brush? Let's use a bigger brush. Now this time, just to mix it up, I went paint thinner and titanium white. I don't want it to be quite as soupy as that other highlight we were doing, just so it's going to look a little different to the highlight on the tree, of course. So we'll just tuck this little one kind of back there in the back. I hope you'll be able to see what I'm talking about as far as this coming off the brush. Just a little different. Not quite as thin. I crept up on it on purpose. Now I'm adding a a dot of paint thinner. I've picked up a little color from underneath the tree. That's fine with me. It's got a hue of gray in parts of it now. You might or may not be able to see it. Did that further one back so it would be out of the way first, but I also wanted to see what kind of release I was getting on my paint here. So this lets me practice one. And now I see what we're getting. We can put in some more snow, and that's about what I wanted out of that one. Well, we'll put a little more snow on that just to kind of thicken it up, layer it up for the sports fans at home, slightly thinner. I tell you, that titanium white is thick, 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 but even so, when I thin it down, I like to creep up on adding paint thinner. It can just get out of hand so quickly. So quickly. And just be ready. Just be aware of that. Never tell you that to scare you. I just want you to be ready for it. If it happens, then it almost feels like we just added another tree in there, doesn't it? It's pretty cool. Put a little highlight over the top of that area I added late. Be careful going back in like that, especially you, Dan, because you like to redo the same hand motions over and over, so you wind up with the same kind of foliage. So if you fight the same thing, just be aware. You're in good company. At least I'll tell you you are, because I do that a lot. Come back and adjust, though, when you notice that you've done it. It's okay. And do a couple at a time when you first do your first one. That's totally fine. Let's keep going a little bit on that kind of rocky ledge thought process there. I really like this. Just going to scrape off a little excess paint, and then I'm going to come back in with some white to kind of put some highlight on that. We're going to be just about finished with this painting. You're probably saying, finally. Dan, I thought you'd never finish this painting today. Sometimes that happens. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it, or maybe decided, hey, you got some time off these next few days, weeks, whatever it might be this time of year. What's that hobby you put away? Go get it. I'm cool knowing about it. You may think people aren't, but hey, just because I'm not into it doesn't mean I can't appreciate somebody who is. You want to share it? You're welcome to share it with me. I'd love to check it out or learn about what drew you to it, or how did you happen upon it like accident, like I did? Maybe, maybe. Maybe, maybe. Sorry, you're getting small knife blade. That's the one I like, so that's the one I'm going to use. Of course, it's funny because as soon as I say that, I really like how that one turned out over there. So to say I still prefer just the small one is a little bit silly. What if we just call this one Christmas Eve 2025? You okay with that? I'm okay with that. You think we need something else? I don't think so. I really like that reflection over there. We're going to sign this one and be done. It's going to take a little liquid white. It'll pick up a little color, I'm sure, because I really, yeah, light blue will be fine. Didn't get any red out. So there's a D. A is my middle initial, but that's for my dear son, Andrew, who will be celebrating this Christmas in heaven. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. I know it's a little longer than most, but I appreciate you hanging with me if you did. Merry Christmas. I love you. Drop in a comment, question. If I can help you, I'm glad to. Happy New Year. Hope to see you soon. And I appreciate you. I'm going to sneak around and get a good straight on shot. Let's see if I can do this without totally messing up the world. Now let's just be still. Merry Christmas.